This organism has three main functions: constant, eating, and growing functions. So in the constant functions, we have breathing, which is just myocyte tissue expanding and contracting to create air vacuums, which allows air to go through, and then hairs, very small hairs, are going to take large particles out. These small particles will go into the bloodstream so that, you can actually respirate the cells, and nutrients will be provided through these bloodstreams as well. And these CO2 particles will be carried out of the bloodstream to be disposed with waste. And basically, with the bloodstream, we will see sarcomeres circulating it and white blood cells in this bloodstream protecting against disease. So eating and growing will start from mechanoreceptors detecting cues through ion channel disruption, because ion channel disruption is when ions flow in and out of the cells of mechanoreceptors, and this will cause depolarization, which changes the voltage, and this will alert neurons, and so the myocytes will move away from the furthest source of actual movement and disruption throughout these mechanoreceptors to sort of charge towards the nearest moving creature that isn't themselves. Once they've started moving towards whatever this source of disruption is, parietal cells will use hydrochloric acid and secrete hydrochloric acid to digest whatever creature or object is sort of near them that has alerted them. And the way that it doesn't digest itself is foveolar cells, which make mucus sort of protect the body against this sort of acid secretion. Zymogenic cells will then secrete pepsinogen, which acid will turn it into pepsin, and this pepsin breaks down proteins into amino acids to start going into nutrient absorption. The way it's going to absorb these nutrients are through villi-like systems with goblet and enterocyte cells, which will form these villi formations, which will break down nutrients automatically, and then goblet cells will make more mucus to protect against acid, and the enterocytes will uptake nutrients through situations that will convert it into fat. This is done by lipases using enzymes, which will convert food into fatty acids, and these fatty acids are stored through adipose tissue, which are just sort of fat tissue, which stores the fat using adipocyte cells, which have room to actually store this fat. Once enough of this fat is stored to create another half-sized version of itself, half of the cells will then perform mitosis using the energy by sort of dividing and splitting, and then move these new cells through the bloodstream and slowly form a half-sized copy of itself bound by neurons and vessels. Eventually, this version will break through the walls of its outer self, and these will need to be mended slowly using another form of mitosis, but now we will have a more grown version of itself connected through a sort of hive mind. And this is how this hypothetical organism would work all together as one functioning being.